Welcome back to Farm and Hammer, everyone. Today, have some really devastating news. But before we get into all that, I did want to move the pigs. I know you guys haven't seen them in a video or two. And I will say, we've had a super windy day, and last night it was also super windy and stormy. And it flipped their little house here. Well, their little shack that we built just temporarily. So anyway, their little shack got flipped over by the wind. Went over the fence, actually, luckily. And you know, it's completely destroyed. Of course, it was cheap anyway. It wasn't a permanent structure anyway. So until we get a bigger, nice one built, we're just going to use this old doghouse we found on the property as well. It does fit them all. We've put it in there before, and they all have plenty of room to lay down in there. When I came out this morning, a big limb had landed on the fence, and all of the pigs were out here in the woods. Luckily, they know when I bring a bucket out, that means there's food coming, so they followed me right back into the pens, and they honestly didn't go far. This is where they were, and this is where they ended up. I don't know how long they were out here, probably a couple hours, because I've seen them root all the way over there. But for the most part, they stayed within 20 feet of the fence, so they didn't wander off, and when I came out, they ran right to me. So now I'm gonna try to get this old fence that they were just in and set it up here in the shade where they started rooting, because apparently they like it over here. So I'm going to set this up and hopefully get them moved. So the fence is now set up, so I'm going to shut this charger off. Take that off the fence. Grabbing my bucket. Come on, guys. Now all I gotta do is turn it on. And there you have it, guys. Pigs are out into a wooded area, I guess. We're gonna get them into the thick stuff over there soon, but they've already been fed. They're just playing in the dirt and rooting, so. Anyway, pigs are happy now. They got some more stuff to play with, so I gotta grab their water and then we'll be off to the cows. So I'm currently walking out to check on the heifers. Not really check on them, but I have some really bad news, at least for me. So I'm gonna share that with you guys. It's about the heifers here. Yesterday was a rough day, to say the least. So I'm almost to them. I don't know if they'll run off or not, but it's also super windy, so I'm hoping the video quality doesn't get terrible here, or the audio in the video. So you may be wondering what the terrible news is about the heifers. Well, we had the vet out yesterday, and he was supposed to be preg checking my dad's heifers, and since we had him over here, we're like, well, might as well have him do mine too. So We had them all in, got them all preg checked, and I was the one running the head chute, getting them in and all that, so I was right next to the vet the whole time. I was letting them out, dividing them up between which ones were bred and which ones were open. So the first 5 of mine went through, and the first 2 weren't bred. I was like, well, not good odds, but hey, you know, 2 out of 18 isn't bad yet. Then we got through 5 of them, and there were still none that were bred or pregnant, and he told me, he said, I hate to tell you, but they're really just starting to cycle right now. And so, but the thing is, I had seen all my heifers at least come into heat once, besides one, and so I was like, well, hey, they were cycling 2 months ago, so you'd think they would have, and the bulls have been with them the whole time. But to say the least, we made it through all 18 of mine, and a big whopping 0 were pregnant. And that is absolutely devastating for me, because these heifers were supposed to be calving this fall. That would be when they turned 2 years old. And it may have been an unrealistic expectation for me, but beef heifers should calve when they turn 2 years old. That should be the first time they calve. They shouldn't have any problems getting bred then. If they do, that's when they get sold. They aren't as fertile as we'd like. But these half Holstein heifers, I thought, hey, they're big enough. They should be at 60% of their body weight at a year old. Theoretically, they should be able to be bred at the exact same time as the other beef heifers and calve at 2 years old. Well, it turns out that is not the case, and the vet said, hey, they're in great body condition, and they were when they had the bull with them too. He just said they really just weren't ready to get bred yet. And he said, honestly, the pelvic width was good on all of them. He said there was nothing wrong with those. And they'd be ready to breed right now, but of course, I don't want to be having calves in the summer. Anyway, so they missed calving in the fall. And he said, sure, some may be short bred, like a week or 2, but he couldn't tell. And so that is where we are at with the heifers. So just a little information on kind of the business side of this. A lot of people have differing opinions on whether you should keep heifers, whether it's worth it, and whether it saves you money in the long run. So for me, I thought it was gonna save me money because I only had $300 or $400 into these heifers. At a year old, they should be getting bred at a year and a couple months. And they should be calving at 2 years old, then their calf, they would raise their calf for another 8 months, then I'd sell their calf after that 8 months. So the reason why people have differing opinions on whether you should do it is because when that calf is 8 months old and you sell it, it may only profit you enough to cover the cost of keeping that cow for 3 years. So I think I've come to the conclusion to sell all of my older heifers, which I really didn't want to do. I had some heifers in there that I really liked because I won't be able to put the bull in with them for another 2 months or so. And then once again, that's another 9 months that they should have already been bred. So that is what I think the conclusion is. I'm gonna sell all my older heifers, and all the money I get from them, I can maybe buy some actual bred beef cows or cow-calf pairs or something of that sort. But that really brings up the tough decision. When all these little girls are older, should I keep them and try it again? Because they probably won't be getting bred either. They're probably gonna be the same way and take a year and a half to get mature enough to get bred. These half beef, half dairy heifers may not work out for me as beef cows. I know some other people, they do work out, but I don't think that's gonna be the case with these. Even though they like me and all that, I can't justify it as a business if I'm keeping a bunch of charity cases. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm getting eaten alive by calves. Hope you enjoyed this one, even though some of the news is a little depressing. I know you guys have watched these calves grow up, the same as I have, but it's just a business is a business. And so anyway, that's the tough decision I've had to come to. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.